crafty friends. Welcome to our second episode of Funday Monday. I am so excited about today. Today we're going to work on a small project together and make little angels. This video has been inspired by Deborah from Florida. She sent in a request to have a tutorial on these angels. She is also an inspiration. She is making these angels to send to our military soldiers. So Deborah, thank you so much for the inspiration that you've given all of us. And it is always a great thing to lift one another up and encourage one another, especially through difficult times. So you yourself might find making these angels to be an inspiration that you can give to someone else. I am also jumping on to Deborah's inspiration, and I am going to send two of the angels that I have made to two military people. One is my very own son, my middle son, who is stationed at Fort Leonard Wood. And I'm sending it to him because right now his training is somewhat on a little bit of a halt as he is waiting to be picked up by a platoon. And COVID-19 has played a little part in slowing down some of their training. So I'm sending him one. And then there was a lovely recruit that went into Parris Island with him, and she got injured, and then she re-injured that initial injury and has been sent home to recuperate and can re-enlist to return to Parris Island to finish her training to become a Marine in the future. And so I want to send one to her as an encouragement for her bravery and to also inspire her not to give up on that dream. Then I have also made 4 angels for my partner and her mom and her 2 daughters. They recently just lost their stepdad. My partner lost her stepdad. And so I'm hoping that these angels will just be a small little token of how much Mr. Charlie loved all of them. His favorite color is burgundy. So I did the angels in a burgundy yarn. And you'll get to see all of those once we get over to the craft table. So Miss Deborah did send me a copy of the pattern, and I printed it off, and I tried to research the link here at the bottom that was on the pattern to see if I could find out who created this pattern so I could definitely give them credit. And the link actually took me to how to create a PowerPoint better than using the Microsoft PowerPoint. So it wasn't actually to an individual, it was more towards a company. So I do apologize that I do not know who wrote this pattern, and certainly if you are watching this video and you recognize that it is your pattern, please definitely leave a comment in the comment section so we can make sure that all of my crafty friends can link this pattern to you. So again, this is not my pattern, and I do not know who the author of this pattern is and where the pattern came from. So if you're ready, grab your hook and meet me over at the craft table. But before you do, you might want to know what hook to use. Now, I learned somewhere that the size hook that they recommended was a G, and I'm going to tell you that I actually used an H hook, which is a 5.0 millimeter. Let me see if I can do it this way. All right, so grab your hook and meet me over at the craft table. Okay, so let's go over first everything that you're going to need in order to complete this project so that you have everything before you get started. So the first thing is you need to decide what color medium 4-weight yarn you want to use. I'm going to make this one for the tutorial in the patriotic colors again, so I'm going to be using the red, white, and blue. But you can use any color you want. You can make yours solid white, you can make it a solid color, you can make it a variegated color. You be crafty and creative and make your joyful creation angel in any color that you want. You're also going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need a yarn needle. You are also going to need a sewing needle, some thread that will match the body of your angel. You will need to have something to measure with, and then, as we've already mentioned, you're going to need a size H 5mm hook. Okay. And then accessories, buttons, little rosebuds, ribbons. On this one, I'm going to put patriotic ribbons around my angel, but you can use whatever accessories you want, okay? You can even hot glue accessories on. It's entirely up to you. So let me start off by showing you the ones that I have made. This is the one that I made for my son and Recruit Lynch. And I just use a patriotic star button to sew onto them. You can see there, it's just a little button that has been sewn on. And then I did attach some of that patriotic ribbon, the red, white, and blue ribbon, to them. They can either use these as bookmarks or they can actually separate the ribbons and tie them onto something, okay? But again, you can even turn them over and take a hot glue gun and glue a magnet on there and make it into a refrigerator magnet. You can put a safety pin clasp on there, and then they can be, you know, put on a shirt or coat lapel. All right. And then here are the 4 that I made for my work partner and her family in honor of Mr. Charlie, done in the burgundy. And again, I just used a button to accent on there. I thought about sewing on little rosebuds, but then when I found the heart buttons, I thought that would be a lot more appropriate. So, and again, they can use these as bookmarkers, or they can attach them to a rear view mirror or anything that they want to hang it on. Okay. All right. So if you have everything you need, I am going to put my son's here to lay in view the entire tutorial. So you'll have it to go by as a guide. And we'll get started. Now you know me. About time I need to get some more lotion. I'm about running out. I always like to keep my hands moist while I'm crocheting. They are my crafty tool, so have to take good care of them. Couldn't crochet without them. All right, so the first color I'm going to start with is the color I'm going to use for my angel's head. And again, I'm using the white. Let me adjust my camera here. Sorry about that. Now the pattern calls for you to make a slip knot, chain 4, and crochet 11 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. I am actually going to use a cinch circle. So if you are not comfortable using a cinch circle, then certainly chain 4 and skip 3 chains and double crochet 11 times into that 4th chain. That chain 3 that you skip will count as a double crochet, so that will give you a total of 12 double crochets. To do the cinch circle, if you're going to do that with me, you're going to do it just like you're doing a slip knot. So you're going to wrap the yarn around your 2 fingers, cross over, and then grab your hook, go under the first one, pull up the second one, and twist it so it is secure onto your hook. And I apologize, the lighting in my craft studio is not great when it comes to using white yarn. And then you're going to reach over and grab up that yarn and pull it through to secure that circle onto your hook. Okay. All right, and then we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. That is going to count as our first double crochet. Then we're going to do 11 double crochets into our cinch circle. And just in case you're new to crocheting, to do a double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook inside that cinch circle, yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. That leaves you with 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through the last 2, and that's a double crochet. So I now have 2 because I have my chain 3 and I just made my first double crochet. And so we want to do that 10 more times, and that will give us a total of 12 double crochets. So go ahead and work your double crochets into your cinch circle, and I will meet up with you when we get there and tell you where to go and what to do next. Okay, so when you have your 11 double crochet worked up with your chain 3 giving you a total of 12, you're then going to grab the tail and you're going to cinch that circle shut. And this is why I like using the cinch circle over chaining 4 and doing my double crochets in the 4th chain, is because it closes that circle up so it does not leave a hole there. I mean, you can see the hole, but you can't see through it. And it just gives that nice tight look. Okay. All right, so then we're going to secure this by joining it with a slip stitch. So we're going to go into the very top of that, not the top of the chain 3, but the top of the first double crochet that we made. And we're going to just grab our yarn and then just slip stitch it, just like that. Okay. Then we're going to chain 1. And we're going to go ahead and trim off a little bit like that and pull it on through and secure it down. Okay, and there's your angel head. So now we're going to weave in our ends with our yarn needle. And I like to always weave in on the back side of my work. So I'm just going to slip down through just a couple of those top chains on the back side of those stitches. And I always like to go back down where I just knotted off, because when I do, it pulls that knot down and it gives that more of a nice look. And I do apologize, the lighting in my studio is really bad when it comes to working with white yarn. There, you can see that a little bit better. All right, so let's just kind of add this into a couple of these stitches on the back here. And then skip over the top of the last one I pulled through and go back through, so we can just secure that in. And of course, again, going in opposite directions keeps the yarn from pulling out, so you know it's secured. And once we finish that one, we'll snip it off, and then we'll do the last one, which was at the beginning of our cinch circle. My yarn wanted to split, and that happens sometimes. And again, I'm just going to go into a couple of those stitches. And sometimes you just have to wiggle the needle through. And then skip over the top of the last one I came through and go back, pull through, and then just snip that one off. Okay. All right, and then there is our angel head. All right. And then I'm going to switch over to the color that I'm going to use for the body of my angel. Which is blue. And I'm just using, all of the yarn I'm using today, by the way, is just Red Heart Super Saver. And again, it's a medium 4 weight. Okay. All right. So we need to secure our yarn on, and you can do this because this is such a small project. That's why I'm not doing the magic knot as a change in color to change my colors. So I'm just doing it this way since it's a smaller project. So just secure your yarn on, and I did not do this technique in the changing color technique. It is something that when I was making my angels that I discovered as a way to attach the yarn, and I kind of like it. But when you pull your yarn through any one of the holes, any one of those double crochets on your angel head, you just can go into any one of those, it doesn't matter. Pull your yarn through, and when you do, take both yarns, the tail and the working yarn, and just pull them through like a slip knot, and you've secured it on. Okay, so then take just the working yarn, and this here is going to count as one chain that we already have on there. So do do 3 more, so that gives you a total of a chain 4, and you can count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that there is going to count as your first treble. Okay, now to do a treble stitch, you're going to yarn over your hook twice, and then we're going to go down into the very same stitch that we did our beginning chain 4 in. Okay, and we're going to do 2 trebles, and to do that you insert your hook, and I'm actually wrapping my tail here up to my work so I can work it in as I'm making my trebles. So you insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Okay, you now have 4 loops on your hook. You should be able to see all of those. Okay, you're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2, and that's going to leave 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through the next 2, and that's going to leave 2 loops on your hook. And you're going to yarn over and pull through the last 2, and that is 1 treble crochet. Let's do it again. Yarn over twice. We're going right back into the same hole as our chain 4 in that treble we just made, and we're going to make another one. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. You now have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And you now have 3 treble crochets into that 1 stitch. Now we're going to do 3 treble crochets into the next stitch. So again, yarn over twice, and you're going to go right into the very next stitch, pull up a loop. You have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. And you're going to do 2 more treble crochets in that same stitch. And there's a second, and now let's do the third one. And you should have 3 treble crochets in those 2 stitches, which gives you a total of 6 treble crochets. All right, now we're going to turn our work. So just turn it like that. Okay. And now we're going to chain 3, and this is going to count as a double crochet. So 1, 2, 3. We are going to do another double crochet right into that same stitch as that chain 3. Right there. Okay. So again, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over and pull through the last 2. So with our chain 3 and the double crochet we just made, that counts as 2 double crochet into that first stitch right there. So now we are going to double crochet in each of the next 4 double crochet, in each of the next 4 triple crochets that we have just completed. Okay. All right, so we're going to yarn over and do a double crochet in this one, yarn over, do a double crochet in the next stitch, yarn up and double crochet into the third stitch, and yarn over and double crochet into the fourth stitch, and then that should leave you 1 treble crochet left. Okay, and we're going to do 2 double crochets into that one. So we started with a chain 3 and 1 double crochet in the first stitch, which gave us 2 double crochets. We did a single double crochet in the next 4, and then in this last one we did 2 double crochets. So you have 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. And this is what your angel looks like so far. All right, so now we're going to turn our work and we're going to chain 1. We're going to single crochet into that first double. So we're just going to insert our hook, no yarn over, pull up a loop, got 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through. And that completes a single crochet. Okay, now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to single crochet into the next double crochet right there. So just insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through. We're going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go to the next double crochet and we're going to single crochet right into it. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Go to the next double crochet and single crochet in it. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Go to the next double crochet and single crochet in it. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Go to the next double crochet and single crochet in it. Chain 3, 1, whoops. Okay. 2, 3. Go to the next double crochet and single crochet in it. All right, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and go to the last double crochet and single crochet in it. All right, and that should have given you 8 single crochets across and 7 chain 3 spaces. And now we are going to chain 1, and then we're going to cut off a tail pull that through and secure down. And so there is the head and body of your angel. So go ahead and take a minute and weave in your ends, and I will join you back when we finish weaving our ends in. And here's what your angel should look like with your ends all weaved in. She is looking so cute. Absolutely adorable. So now we're going to make her precious wings, and you can do this in two ways. You can do each wing separately, or you can do it like I'm going to do, where it's all done in one piece of yarn, so you don't have all these ends to weave in or a break in the yarn. So if you want to do it the way I am, then I will show you how much yarn to measure out. And if you want to do them individually, if you'll just bear with us a minute, and then we'll all meet up together to start making our wings. So because I have made so many already, I went ahead and measured out the yarn that I was going to need. And to give you an idea, this is probably about, let's see, so this is probably about 55 to 60 centimeters long. So it's a pretty good strip of yarn. So I would measure out about 60 centimeters and then go ahead and snip it off. All right, so let me uncover this one so you can see it. To put the wings on, you're going to go to the stitch that's right here between the head and the body. So right where it joins, like right there. Okay? That's where we're going to put our yarn in to make our wing. All right, so the first thing we need to do is to attach our wing. And we're going to do that with a slip stitch. And again, like as I was telling you before, I'm going to slip stitch with both the tail and the working yarn, just like that. Okay. All right. Then grab the working yarn. You're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that counts as your first treble crochet. Now, the pattern calls for you to only put 3 treble crochets into that same stitch, giving you a total of 4. On mine, I actually did 5. So I had my chain 4 and I added 4 trebles. So that's what it looks like with having a total of 5 treble crochets in each wing. So you can certainly do it how you want. The pattern does only call for a total of 4. I will tell you, I am notorious for not following a pattern 100%. Sometimes I just go with my own creativity. It is no negative thing to the creator of these patterns. That is simply what they have established as a guide. But sometimes, I mean, it's okay to create your own design or to add something or take something away. It by no means discredits their creativity or their pattern. So I am going to add 4 trebles into that stitch. So here's 1. And don't forget to yarn over twice before you start. And here's 2, which is giving me my 3rd one. and 4 and 5. Now you can stop at 4 if you want, but I just liked having a little bit fuller angel wing. And there's the angel wing. All right, so now this is what I did. I went ahead and chained 1 and pulled my yarn all the way through. So this is where, if you want to do your wings individually, you can snip off a tail and weave it in, and then come over here and make another one just like you did this one. I'm going to keep my yarn attached, so I am going to flip my angel over, grab up the rest of my yarn, grab my yarn needle, and then I'm going to go, get close so you can see this, right back through the top part of that last treble crochet that I made. Pull my yarn through. Don't pull it very tight because you don't want to change the shape of your wing. And then just keep working that yarn down through that treble crochet. And I do it a little piece at a time because I want to make sure I'm not pulling too tightly on my wing so that I take it out of shape. And then I'm just going to go up underneath those wings like that, or those loops right there at the base of my wing. And then I'm going to skip over this top one and come back through. And again, that's just kind of securing that wing on and giving it that cute little shape. And then see these loops right here that go across the body of the angel? I am just going to take my yarn needle and go all the way across through those and pull it through like that. And make sure I get on the outside there. Okay. And then take my remaining yarn off that yarn needle and grab my hook, and also find that stitch right there where the head and the body meet. Can you see that? Insert my hook, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop with that yarn. And I'm trying to chain 1. Oh, I see. I've got a fragment where my yarn had frayed just a little bit. Okay, so let me pull that back out and start over. So insert your hook between the head and the body, grab your working yarn, and pull up a loop. There we go. Now we're going to chain 4 again. That's going to count as our first treble crochet. Yarn over twice and work 4 treble crochets into that same stitch. And sometimes you have to fold the angel body down just to get in there real good. And I'm just going to work 3 more to give me a total of 5. Again, you can do 2 more and give you a total of 4. And complete. And then chain 1 and pull your yarn through. All right. And then just pull your wings out. And then there are your wings. And then just weave in your ends. And there's your angel. All right, so weave in your ends and then meet me back. And there's your precious little angel, all complete. So now you can add any accessories that you want to her. She's just so adorable. And I love my angel. Again, this is the one that's going to hang in my own craft room. So I'm going to accent my little angel, and I'm going to give her some ribbon. So I am going to just cut off a couple pieces here. Give me a piece long enough to tie on. And grab these, get these little tapes that hold my yarn down, or excuse me, I don't know why I keep calling my ribbon yarn. I guess because I talk about yarn so much. And just to keep them the same length, I'm going to measure out from the blue one I cut off. So they're about the same length. Of course, I can trim them if I need to. All right. And then I'm going to make sure the ribbons are all going the same direction. And you know what I mean. There's like usually a top and a bottom side to the ribbon. So to kind of keep it uniformed. And then I'm just going to wrap it around the head of my angel. Try to even out my ends there. And then I'm just going to tie it on and make a bow. Kind of shaping my bow. And this little side is a little bit longer than the other, so I am going to trim those pieces. And there is my angel. And she came out so adorable. And I'm going to hang her, and she's going to be my hope that this COVID-19 is going to end soon for all of us. But I think she's precious. And I'll probably put a piece of ribbon through her head and hang her back there off my yarn rack. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you make lots of angels to encourage yourself and those that you love and those around you. Stay home, be joyful, stay crafty in your own way, Make your own magic, and I will see you soon. Bye.